And we are back. Today is the day. It is time for the first major domestic trophy of the season. Or second, if like me, you actually include the Community Shield as a major trophy. But it is, of course, the Carabao Cup final. Manchester United against Newcastle. And the question is, which of the new eras is going to get off to the perfect start? Is it going to be Erik ten Hag's Manchester United, or is it going to be Eddie Howe's Newcastle? Now, honestly, I think both teams deserve a trophy for how much they've achieved this season. Me as a Manchester United fan, I could have not have even considered the possibility of us winning something this season after what I'd seen last season, let alone be challenging on all four fronts, potentially still in a title race, defeating Barcelona in Europe, and obviously getting to the final of this competition still in the FA Cup. And even the most hardcore Newcastle fan couldn't have expected to be in a major final and be in at least the race for the top four, potentially still in the title race themselves, just 1 year after the Saudi takeover, especially considering the fact that they haven't actually spent that much. They've spent a lot, but nowhere near as much as would have been expected for them to reach the sort of level they have so far this season. So, like I said, I think both teams deserve a trophy this season, but only one of them can win today. And as you can tell by the title and by what's on your screen right now, this is my prediction for what I think is going to happen. Now, you'll notice I'm not wearing a Manchester United shirt yet. I definitely will come kickoff, but I'm trying to be as impartial as I possibly can for this prediction. I don't want to be biased and just say, oh, Man United are going to win because I want Man United to win. I want Man United to win, because this is a really, really tough game, and it comes down to a few key factors. Now, coming into this over the last couple of weeks, I've had this game as a 1-1 draw, with Manchester United winning it in extra time or penalties. However, a few things have happened over the last couple of weeks which have kind of swayed my prediction one way or another. Firstly, you have to look at the returns of Bruno Guimaraes and Casemiro, both players suspended for the last 3 weeks domestically, both players back and available for this game, and that's massive boosts for both teams. Newcastle have really struggled without Bruno Guimaraes in their midfield, and having him back today is such a huge boost for them. So that's the first thing you've got to consider. He is, of course, up against the two players that play ahead of him in the Brazil national team, so that should also be considered as a factor as to why one team should win over the other. Secondly, and more recently, you have the injury to Marcus Rashford. It's currently unclear if he's going to be fit to start. He's been included in the squad, but as it stands right now on the morning of kickoff, it's unclear if Rashford is actually going to be available to start the game. I hope that he's going to be able to play some part because of just how well he's played recently. But then the third thing you have to consider is that he didn't play particularly great against Barcelona, and then obviously went off with that injury. And against what is currently the best team in Spain, Manchester United still won that game. And there are a lot of question marks whether or not Manchester United can win games with Rashford not playing well or without Marcus Rashford. And they were able to do that against Barcelona. And then finally, and possibly most critically, the suspension for Nick Pope. Because he has been so huge for Newcastle, both metaphorically and quite literally. He's a very large man. But that suspension is absolutely huge for them, because it means that he is not available. Dubravka is not available because he's cup tied as he played for Manchester United. And that leaves them with two goalkeepers that, quite frankly, are potentially not ready for this game. You've got Loris Karius, who's expected to start. Now, he's not played a competitive game of football for over 2 years. He has not played for a major top league team since the Champions League final for Liverpool. He has not played against a top 5 league team since the Champions League final for Liverpool. And he's not played in a cup final since the Champions League final for Liverpool. And obviously we all know how that went. The other option is Gillespie, who has never played at the top level. He has always either been out on loan or playing for lower division clubs. He has never played at Premier League level. He has only played in domestic cups for Newcastle against lower league opposition. So whichever goalkeeper goes in goal for Newcastle today, it is a massive step up from anywhere they've been in the last 4 years, or potentially ever, depending on which one's in net. And if you're Manchester United, you need to target that immediately. Someone like Bruno, Rashford if he's available, Sabitzer if he's on the pitch, Anthony, Casemiro. We've got a lot of players that can hit decent long shots, and that goalkeeper needs to be put under pressure immediately, because the occasion, the expectation, assumingly in the first half, they're going to have their home fans behind them as well. It's all the things that can pile up on a goalkeeper in that sort of situation. And I just think that all of those factors combined mean that Manchester United are the team to beat in this game. And I'm going to go for 2-1 to Manchester United. I think it is a really, really, really tough game, this, for both teams. But you have to look at the records of Newcastle this season and Manchester United and say Manchester United are performing much better in big games. However, Newcastle have only lost 3 games all season. 2 to Liverpool and 1 to Sheffield Wednesday in the FA Cup with a reserve team. So massive pressure to get the job done. And like I say, that is why I was initially going to go for a draw. But I have to think that with the rusty reserve goalkeeper in net, and with the way we've been playing recently, we have an opportunity to hit Newcastle early. And we saw it last week against Liverpool. Newcastle are not the fastest starters at the moment. Don't get me wrong, we're not the fastest starters either. But we could have gone ahead against Barcelona early. And I think if we get those sort of chances early again today, it'll be enough to get the job done before Newcastle get going. And that's my hope. Newcastle are a very good team, but they have been struggling for goals. And with Varane, Martinez, Casemiro all available, like I spoke about in the Barcelona game, I think Manchester United defensively will have enough to keep Newcastle out to a maximum of 1 goal. Like, I could have very easily gone for 2-0 or 1-0 here, but I feel like I say, with everything that's happened this season, I feel like both teams deserve something out of this match. I think both teams will get something out of this match, which is why was initially going to go for 1-1. But I just think the overall quality of Manchester United, everything that they have showed in the last few weeks, will be enough to see them score a couple, especially with the reserve keeper in goal. And I think that will be enough to see Manchester United win the game. Now, like I say, that is my honest prediction. My biased prediction says that we probably win this 2 or 3-0 after what happened with Newcastle last week and after the momentum that we've gained after Barcelona. But like I say, I'm trying to be as impartial as I possibly can. I just genuinely think that this is Manchester United's game to lose. We should be the better team. We should get the result today. But Newcastle, like I say again, deserve something from this season. It wouldn't surprise me to see Newcastle get the result today. But I just think Manchester United have a little bit too much. And it's not just come at slightly the wrong time for Newcastle. If this game had been played 2 weeks ago, I think it would be a lot tighter. But right now, I think Manchester United just about have the edge. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be Manchester United's first trophy for 6 years rather than Newcastle's first for 60. So that's my prediction for today. I will now go and get changed into my Manchester United gear ready for kickoff. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm sure every single person that's not a Manchester United fan will be rooting for Newcastle today. So good luck to both teams. Hopefully it goes my way. And I will see you at some point after the game. I'm going to have some people around today, so I don't know what time I'll get my reaction up. But there will be a reaction video to whatever the result is as soon as possible after full time. So I will say, come on United. Let's get that first trophy notched under Erik ten Hag, and hopefully the new era that I talked about after the Barcelona game can get off officially with our first major trophy today. Thank you very much for watching.